Disappointing Leeds United fans has just ended at Elland Road. Leeds United 1, Tottenham 2 in a game that Leeds United battled, but at the end of the day wasn't enough. I am proud of the lads, but similarly, we've ended the game with no points. All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Like I just said, it has ended at Elland Road, 2-1 to Spurs. Disappointing, very disappointing. Who do I think I am? Who do I think Leeds are that I was so confident today that we're going to go get 3 points against Tottenham, or maybe even a score draw? I thought Tottenham showed their class in spells, but even Leeds were decent. We'll get into that. Before we do get into that, though, be sure to smash that like button. Let's go for 200 likes. Why can't we? Yeah, if you're watching this right now, smash a like. It really does help. Also, subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 21,000 subscribers. And get your comments in today. What went wrong and who is your man of the match? But yeah, going into this game, Leeds United stayed with the same team that drew with Bournemouth, which is understandable. And I was quietly confident about this game. I think many Leeds fans were. And that's nothing to do with Tottenham. We know Tottenham are a good side. But I think at Elland Road, it's the first game Leeds have lost at Elland Road in about 40 plus games. So it's disappointing. We knew it was probably going to come in the Premier League because obviously the step up in class, but it's annoying that we've lost our unbeaten run at Elland Road. But I think a lot of Leeds fans, I don't know how you're feeling watching this, I think we'll be sort of happy with the display we saw. But there's a bit of me that thought Tottenham were there for the taking today. The conditions didn't help, especially for the second goal when it was really chucking it down, and the conditions didn't help. But their first goal went in. Nice bit of touch from Tell, and Tell, he shot it, deflected off Pascal over Carl Darlow. It's just unlucky. Before that, I think Joe Rodon hit the post. And it was just one of them days. Leeds got back into it. Nice, decent shot from Brendan Aronson. Good hold-up play from Calvert Lewin. And a good finish by Okafor. And to be there after Vicario kind of spilt it. Decent save, but he didn't put it in the right area. Good finish. 1-1, half-time. I'm happy. And I'm thinking we can go and win this game. Genuinely, I was happy with what I saw in the first half. A lot of fight, a lot of good individual performances. But there's some I'm going to question. We'll talk about that in a little while. Second half, they came out a bit stronger, more possession of the ball, and obviously Kudus got his goal. Kudos to him. It was a decent goal. Again, deflected off Pascal, went under Carl Darlow. Carl Darlow tried to predict where he was going to hit it, and he didn't save it. But yeah, disappointing to come away from this 2-1 loss, but at the end of the day, it's Tottenham. And that's the kind of sort of balance where if we've got a result today, we would have gone, wow, what a big result. But when you lose, you can kind of fall back on, well, it is Tottenham. And Tottenham, they haven't had the best of runs recently. But they looked okay today. But I don't think Leeds United should leave that game thinking, oh, wow, we're in serious trouble. I think we held them to their own. We played well. There was just a lack of spark. And it was a lack of pace, I thought, but sort of on the right-hand side where, of course, the questions are going to get asked of Brendan Aronson because he is the person everyone goes to when Leeds haven't won a game or if Leeds play bad. Everyone goes to Brendan Aronson. Today, he didn't, putting in a shift wasn't enough today for Leeds United. You need that spark. You need that skill. You need that bit of flair or pace. And Nonto or James would have been brilliant on that right-hand side today. I don't think Brendan Aronson was terrible. I don't think anyone today was terrible. But Brendan Aronson was definitely the weak link on that right-hand side. I thought he done all right at the start of the game, but as the game went on, he was just falling apart there. And I think maybe pace behind that Spurs back line today would have genuinely helped. There were spells in the game where the midfield kind of won that game for Tottenham because they were closing up all gaps. I don't think Ampadu had his best game, if I'm being completely honest. And also Anton Stack, I thought he stunk up the gaff today. I don't think he was very good at all, Anton Stack. And he did get dragged off. I thought his touches weren't good. There was not enough energy there for me. Sean Longstaff sort of carrying this midfield today at the moment. He had another very good game. The back line, Pascal's just unlucky. He didn't even have a bad game. He's just unlucky with sort of both of the goals, really. Gabriel Goodmanson, despite, marking Kudus for the whole game, he wasn't terrible, but he was getting spun a bit. And for obviously their second goal, it was his mistake, really. He kind of didn't read the flight of the ball, got caught in no man's land, and Kudus put the ball in the back of the net, of course. Right back, Jayden Bogle. Didn't have to really do too much today, but what he did do was decent. We know that with Jayden Bogle, and like I said, with Joe Rodon, he was decent as well. It's tough to sort of analyze and react to this sort of game because you're not favourites, and a lot last year, Leeds United were favourites. So if we lost 2-1 against a Blackburn or a Preston or something like that, you can overreact. You can say, how are we not beating them with the quality we've got? But when you're in the Premier League, you are the underdog. When you're a newly promoted side, you're the underdog. You go against Spurs, who have got, huge international players. They've got very, very good players. You you don't expect a loss. You don't go into it thinking you're going to lose, but you think they've got the quality. They're up there for a reason, and they're now into second place. Tottenham and Thomas Frank have got them going. And I think they were saying on commentary, that Tottenham team of last year under Ange Postecoglou, I think Leeds win that. I really do. And I'm confident that Leeds can, you know, put in a fight against every team this season, because we've looked okay. Of course, people look at Sunderland and think, look how good they've done, and credit to them, they have. But Leeds have been competitive in every game today. Not today, in every game this season. We've been competitive in every game apart from the Arsenal game. It was a bit of an anomaly, that game, losing 5-0. But every game since then, Leeds have been competitive. And I think Leeds fans, that's all we want. We want competitiveness. We want to show that we belong here. We don't want to show that we're just coming up for a laugh. We're just coming up for one season. Oh, look at this. We're playing the big teams. We need to be in and around them big teams. And today we showed fight, but unfortunately, we didn't get it over the line. It was disappointing. But like I said, going through each individual player, Carl Darlow didn't have too much to do. He was unlucky with both goals, really. He didn't really have much to do outside of that. I don't think. He maybe made a save or two. I don't really know. Didn't actually have to do loads, and that's credit to Leeds again. Right back, Jaden Bogle was good. Roden was good. Pascal was unlucky. Goodmanson with kudos. I think Leeds lost it in the midfield today. I really do. And when Tanaka came on, it was a bit better, but he's still struggling to get his feet going in the Premier League. I didn't mind sort of the changes that Daniel Farke was doing, but I mean, Jack Harrison wasn't brilliant, when he came on. I thought Okafor was probably Leeds' best player, him or Longstaff. Calvert Lewin maybe should have scored again. Are these chances going to come back to bite Leeds? Well, they definitely did today. He needs to put the ball in the back of the net. I know he did against Wolves, but he gets many chances, and credit to him, he gets himself in them positions. He gets the chances, but he needs to put a few more in the back of the net for my liking. But yeah, Leeds just didn't have that sort of individual player that was going to... I think Okafor was the closest thing today to being an individual player to save this game when it went to 2-2. But when we brought on Joel Perreault, Mecha, and Dominic Calvert Lewin up front, all three of them are big, sort of stocky, tall strikers that all are going to jump for the same ball, and it didn't really work. But I'd like to see that again, though. I would like to see him chuck all three strikers on and chase for that goal. But it clearly didn't work against Spurs, but maybe against a Burnley or whoever we're playing soon. I think Burnley's the next game after the international break. We could maybe see that again. I think this is actually the last game before the international break. Yeah, I think, well, that's disappointing. I found this out right at the end of the video. I think that is, but it's disappointing to go into an international break 2-1 loss, but we go again when we are back. But yeah, who was your man of the match? Let me know in the comments down below. For me, it was either Okafor or Sean Longstaff, or Joe Roden had a decent game as well, but can you give it to defender when you've lost 2-1? You let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to smash that like button on your way out of this video. That would be lovely. That would be highly appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheery. Oh.